and welcome to another Storytime with Miss Anne from the Ontario Public Library. And you guys, this is our last 2021 holiday Storytime story. And I hope that you have been enjoying them as much as I have, and that we got to spend some of this time together virtually again, so at least you got to hang out with Miss Anne a little bit during the holidays if you weren't able to come into the library or see me wherever else I've been. And again, like we did last week, we are going to post all of the stories that we did this year in 2021 in our holiday series, and the last year, all the holiday stories that we did last year. If you missed them, or you were having a really hectic time last week, the week before Christmas, you can watch them now. Hopefully you have a little bit more downtime now than you had last week. And actually, that is what we are going to talk about really quickly before we get into the story today, is taking some time. Maybe this little quiety space that we have after Christmas. A lot of grown-ups have off from work, and I know all of you kids have off from school. So we kind of have this special time right now that we can actually not maybe have to do the schedule that we always have to do, where it's breakfast first thing in the morning, then we run off to school or we run off to our jobs, and then we have to make sure that we do grocery shopping and make sure that we have everything, like we have sports after school or horseback riding or anything else like that. Now, maybe in this quiet time, we do not have to run off as quickly as we always do. So maybe we can take some time to take some quiet moments together, which I think are really important to do. Miss Anne is a big fan of large events and doing spectacular stuff and all that kind of thing, but really some of her favorite moments with you guys is when you just come to the library and it's by chance we get to hang out and talk about books and have a quiet moment together. Some of those are Miss Anne's favorite moments ever. Miss Anne's going to tell a story about something we actually did at my house when Miss Anne was growing up, when she was little, if you can imagine that. This is actually something that we did on Christmas Eve, but I think that it actually is speaking more to what I'm talking about right now, which is taking a quiet moment. Miss Anne's parents would plan a really busy day. We'd have very specific stuff for breakfast. We would have all of these activities that would take us all the way through the day. I can't remember what they all were. And we would go and have a movie in the afternoon. And then we would have a very special dinner together. And then we would get to open one present apiece. And the present that we got to open was a book. So then we got to read our books to each other. Or mom or dad would read them if we were too little to read. Or they would give them to me and I would read them too. Thinking about that now. The quiet moment that we had together as a family, where we just got to hang out and do something all together, I remember that more than any of the other stuff that we did. And honestly, more than the next day of Christmas hecticness and opening presents and having family and having big dinners, and it was really run around craziness the next day. It was fun, but I don't always remember specific stuff that happens that day. But I do remember opening the books and being so excited about reading them with each other the night before. Maybe books are not the thing that work in your family. Maybe it's drawing together, maybe it's cooking together, maybe it's going outside and playing a game, or playing a board game inside, or a video game, or watching a movie, or whatever that you guys would like to do to take a quiet moment together this week. See if you can take those quiet moments, because I think you guys will all remember them when your life gets super hectic again and you have to start moving super fast. But maybe we can take time to read that extra story, or make another batch of cookies, or go on a car ride and look at all the lights that are outside still because people haven't taken them down yet. Take your quiet moments and make your memories in this hopefully less hectic time of this week when we can spend some real time together. Just as a little aside, because sometimes my parents watch these videos, thank you, Mom and Dad, for giving me those quiet and special moments with you and the rest of my family during the holidays. I love you guys. Okay, The book that we are going to read this week is called My Penguin Osbert, and it's by Elizabeth Cody Kimmel, and it's illustrated by H.B. Lewis. And this actually was one of the books that my parents gave to me and my brothers when we were little. This was my brother Ethan's present. So I have read this one before, and I think it's pretty cool, and I'd like to share it with you. This is a pretty silly story, but it is about spending some time together after the holidays, and also maybe not always getting what you want. You get what you think you want, and then maybe you don't want it anymore. That's definitely a thing that happens in this book. Because think about it. If you got a present, like a penguin, how would that work out for you? I mean, everybody obviously wants a penguin. You can't be alive and not want a penguin, but what if you actually got one? Let's jump right in. Our friend right here has an agenda, I think. This year, I was very specific in my letter to Santa Claus. We've had a few misunderstandings in the past. For instance, last year I asked for a fire engine red race car with a detachable roof, a lightning bolt on the side, and retracting headlights. And he did get me one. Wow. That's pretty cool. I mean, I haven't heard of Santa getting you a whole race car, but I mean, I guess if you're that specific in your letter to Santa. But it was only 3 inches long. Oh, okay, that makes sense. 3 inches is about this big, you guys. Little race car. And the year before, I had really wanted a trampoline. I wasn't sure how to spell it. So in my letters, I just sort of described what I wanted. Santa sent me a pogo stick. Yeah, that's not really the same as a trampoline where they both bounce up and down, and maybe you could get really good at pogoing. So this year, I was really, really careful. I wrote Santa a long letter and told him that I would like to have my own pet penguin. Not a stuffed penguin, but a real one from Antarctica. I told him that my penguin should be 1 foot tall, white and black with a yellow beak, and his name should be Osbert. I included a drawing. I put extra postage on the envelope and sent it off a whole month early, and then I waited. Extra postage, as you can see, means that he put like extra stamps on it. So he was prepared. Have you guys ever been that prepared when you write letters to Santa? When Christmas morning came, I was the first one downstairs. There he was. He was black and white with a yellow beak and exactly 12 inches tall, which is 1 foot, you guys. He was moving and breathing and everything. And around his neck was a tag that said, "Hello, my name is Osbert." Santa had actually come through. You guys, he actually got a penguin. Holy cats. I've never heard of that before. Have you? I mean, good job, Santa. And good job, my boy, for being so specific in his letter. I wanted Osbert to meet everyone. I wanted to take him to my room. Plus, I wanted to open my other presents. But Osbert really wanted to go outside and play. It was pretty cold and kind of windy too. There was a foot or two of snow on the ground and no sun at all. But I had asked for Osbert, and now I had him. So we went outside. You guys with pets know that if you ask for a dog, you are responsible for taking care of that dog or cat or fish or hamster or parrot or, I don't know what, llama? Do some of you guys have a llama or an alpaca? Goats, sheep, cows, horses. They all need you to take care of them if you ask for them. So remember this the next time you ask for a kitty cat. See if they might make you go outside in the snow. Look at how cold our friend looks. Osbert is loving it though. We played power slide and wrecked the igloo. We had snowball fights and made ice penguins. We escaped from the jaws of imaginary leopard seals. Very cool. That does all look like fun. They are taking time to get to know each other right away, which is nice. Osbert wanted to go swimming, but I explained that that might not be possible. So we sang some old penguin songs instead. I don't know what a penguin song sounds like, you guys. Google it. That night, I was ready to go straight to bed. We had had such a big day, and he probably had been shivering a lot. But Osbert wanted to take a bath. He filled the tub to the very top, and we got in. Osbert unwrapped all the bars of soap and floated them around like icebergs. After a while, I had prune fingers, and my skin itched from all the soap. But I had asked for Osbert, and now I had him. And Osbert liked playing in a cold bath. Look at how cold our friend looks. He looks freezing. Oh dear. Very cold. But Osbert looks pretty happy. The next morning, Mom said she'd make anything I wanted for breakfast. That's one of those cool things when you guys have time and you're at home. You could have anything for breakfast. When I closed my eyes, I saw a stack of chocolate chip waffles with heated syrup, a platter piled high with fried sausages, an icy pitcher of freshly squeezed mango juice. Ooh, that does sound delicious. But Osbert doesn't like rich food, and he doesn't like hot food, and he doesn't like sweet food. Osbert wanted cold creamed herring with seaweed jam for breakfast. Ugh. So that's what we had. Do you guys want cold creamed herring with seaweed jam for breakfast? No? But I don't know if I want that for breakfast. After breakfast, it was my turn to do chores. So I did the dishes and went upstairs to clean my room. Very good. When I came back down, I saw that Osbert had been working too. He had built an entire ice village out of freezer pops, frozen leftovers, and tubs of ice cream. It was all beginning to melt. Osbert, of course, couldn't hold a towel in his flippers, but I had asked for Osbert, and now I had him. So I cleaned up the mess myself. Osbert is starting to be a lot of work. What has he done so far? He made us go outside instead of opening our Christmas presents and freeze almost our toes right off. Instead of having a warm bath, we had to have a cool bath and get all pruny and freeze again. It's a theme here. 3, we had to do 3 times as many chores because we had to clean up after the huge frozen mess that got melty that Osbert made in the living room. It is kind of more work than a dog or a cat. What are we gonna do? What can we do? We love Osbert, so we have to just keep doing this, right? We have to keep cleaning up, and I mean, does he want to live in the hot house with us? I don't know. That afternoon, when Osbert was watching the Weather Channel on cable TV, I secretly wrote a letter to Santa. Another one. Dear Santa, how are you and Mrs. Claus? We are fine. Thank you for the great penguin named Osbert. We take cold baths together and have creamed herring for breakfast. Oh, I forgot about the breakfast one. Yeah, you had to eat gross herring instead of chocolate chip waffles. I'm getting used to spending all day in the snow. Plus, it turns out I didn't have frostbite after all. Your friend, Joe. Oh, his name is Joe. P.S. one more thing, Santa. If you feel like maybe I should have asked for a different present and you want to swap, that would be okay. So that means he's thinking about if maybe Santa wants to take Osbert back and give him a different present. Joe is feeling okay about that idea, even though he loves Osbert, but I don't know if this is working out perfect for us all. And while Osbert was leafing through a snow globe catalog, I snuck out and mailed the letter. Loves all cold things. Some of you guys love cold things. You tell me that snow is your favorite time. So maybe Osbert would be cool with you. A couple of days later, I woke up to find a package at the foot of my bed. There was a tag with my name on it, signed Santa. Inside the box was a red pull-over sweater and 2 free passes to the grand opening of Antarctic World at the zoo. After Osbert made a shrimp sculpture out of the wrapping paper, he wanted to go right away. But he didn't want to take the bus, probably because the bus is too hot. The zoo was a long way away, but I had asked for Osbert, and now I had him. So we walked. That looks pretty chilly walk. When we got to Antarctic World, Osbert headed straight for the Penguin Palace. There was a huge snowy hill with an ice slide leading down to a big pool. There were leopard seals painted on the walls, tiny bergs of real ice were floating in the water, and then a door opened in the wall and a guy came out and started tossing creamed herring to all the penguins. I mean, creamed herrings, what else could you want? When it got to be closing time, I told Osbert we had to leave. He waddled over to me, but I knew he felt at home in the Penguin Palace. It had everything he needed. Osbert was the first Christmas present Santa ever gave me that I really wanted. I had asked for Osbert, and I had gotten him. But Osbert needed ice slides and leopard seals and plenty of herrings. I asked him if he'd be happier living in the Penguin Palace. Osbert looked into my eyes, and then he nodded. Aww, that's such a sweet picture of them hugging. I had to say goodbye. Aww. Let's see if we can make this be a little happier. I mean, you don't have to wear 12 pairs of socks now, Joe. That should at least make your shoes fit better. It's a little lonely at home without Osbert. And my new sweater itches my neck a little bit, right under my chin. But it's nice to be warm. And I had chocolate chip waffles for breakfast. Next Saturday is Kids Visit Free Day at Antarctic World. I don't have bus fare, but I can walk. I'll wear my red sweater so Osbert will be sure to recognize me. And next Christmas is only 11 months away. I've thought about it a lot, and I already know what I want. All right, well, before we get to that, look at him looking at all the pictures. He gets to have Osbert in his memory, and he still gets to visit him. Kind of like your relatives that live far away. Maybe you have a favorite cousin that you only get to see at Christmas and maybe during the summer for a holiday. And you miss them, but you still love them. The same way Joe still loves Osbert. And I bet Osbert still loves Joe. Okay, so what was he thinking about for next year for Christmas? Oh, I almost shudder to think. What do you think he would be thinking of? You ready? I'm sure I can't get into too much trouble with just one helicopter. A helicopter? Well, Joe and Osbert are definitely flying around in that helicopter. I wonder how cold it is up there. It's probably not super warm. Maybe Osbert would love it. Can see all the water from up there. can get out of the zoo on a day pass or something. I hope you guys enjoyed the story about Osbert the penguin, and I hope that you liked all of the stories that we did this year for 2021. And I really recommend you go back and check out some of the 2020 stories too if you haven't done it so far, because I have some really, really good ones in there. I especially like the Santa Trap and Santa Baby. So if you are wondering which ones you should do, I would go for those ones. And remember, we are open this week. Today and tomorrow and Thursday. We're going to be closed on Friday, but we'll be back again, regular schedule next week. So I hope you guys are having a lovely holiday downtime, and we will see you again sometime soon. I'm sure. 2022. Who knows what could happen? Have a nice rest of your week, and Happy New Year, you guys. Bye.